Hello, my name is Marshall Yarbrough. I'm a translator. I translate from German to English. Um, I've just finished a novel by a German author named Charlotte Link, and I am currently just starting on a second novel by that same author. I got into translating. And the way it happened is I studied German in college, and when I finished school, I was interested in sort of learning more about translation. I had the opportunity to meet with another German translator whose advice was basically just to try it on your own and sort of see where it takes you. What she said was you kind of have to be bad at it for a while um, before you can kind of really move forward. So what I did to start with was uh, I worked on short stories, which the appeal of that was that you have just 10 pages to work with, and you can kind of go over and over and over again, and you're working with a sort of self-contained thing rather than say starting on like a longer project. And after working on a few short stories and getting them placed um, various places for translated fiction, um, I happened to have this project come my way, sort of a serendipitous way, which was that my day job is I work at a literary agency, um, and my boss knew an editor who was looking for a translator for a project. Um, my name came up. I sent a CV, and because I had done these short stories, I had previous publication, um, and I spoke with the editor. About a week later, I got a contract in the mail and the contract to translate the book and the book itself, with a timeline of 6 months. The process itself is essentially it's just I start with a very rough draft, and basically from that first really terrible version, just kind of revise and revise and revise. Basically, you're going from like with each successive draft, you're moving from like really really German sounding to more and more English sounding until eventually you're left with what hopefully is a sort of English natural sounding text, while you're always at the same time trying to preserve sort of the tone and style of the original work. Um, After I'd sort of arrived this last book, after I arrived at a manuscript that I was more or less uh, I thought I could defend to an extent, sent that to the editor, um, and got edits back. I'm fortunate enough, I work with an editor who speaks German and English, so she is able to go back to the original text. Sometimes that's not the case. Uh, it could be the case that you're working with an editor who doesn't speak the language from which you're translating. Um, but after sending the manuscript to the editor, I came back with a bunch of edits, and sort of go back and forth, changing things based on the edits, defending the original manuscript in some places. Um, and once you go through that process, you have sort of the finished book, and it goes off to the next stage, which is production. Um, and that's how you that's the translation process.